Here with Trucking Life with Shawn. It's Monday morning, which we know what the Monday is. Monday, we're giving away another Bluetooth headset today. I've gave away, this will be the third one in a row that we've gave away by Connect Now. Connect Now is now sponsoring Trucking Life with Shawn, so they make all kinds of Bluetooth headsets. They make everything you need, nothing that you don't. I've got a link in the bottom of the description of the video if you want to get a Bluetooth headset, but we're also giving away at the end of this video a brand new Bluetooth headset in the box. Connect Now will mail it out to you. We've gave away 2 in a row. This will be the third Monday in a row that we've done this, and I'm going to give it away 2 more times over the next 2 weeks. So make sure you check into our lives, because we do give away. Today is the day that we're going to give it away. But hope everybody had a good weekend. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from and where you're at. Hope everybody's safe and okay. I'm on my way up to Dalton, Georgia. Today, I'm going to be doing some inspections today. I got a meeting this morning, but after that, I'm going to be doing some random DOT inspections out on the yard. So it's going to be probably a hot day, but I'm going to be outside. So if you do work here at Rosedale and you're coming through, make sure you got all your logs right. And it's not a gotcha moment. It's more of a training lesson that that I'm giving out today at Rosedale, just to make sure the importance of doing our pre-trips and doing our post-trips. And that's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I'm going to be doing today. So if you're coming through the gate today, make sure you're ready. I will be out there. You'll probably see me out there near my car. And if I do step out, pull over to the side, I won't take you long. I ain't going to hold you up a long time, but usually we catch a lot of different things. But good morning, Gene Scott. I catch different things on different trucks, and it's just to point out, I don't do full DOT inspections, but if I find something wrong, I do. And I usually about 70% of the time, I find something wrong with the truck that needs to get fixed, and I'm just trying to look out for y'all guys. But anyway, so good morning, everybody. So today I'm giving away a Bluetooth headset, okay? Connect Now is going to give away a Bluetooth headset at the end of this video, so make sure you watch the entire video. At the end of the video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question. And if you know the answer to that question, the first one that comments back with the correct answer gets a brand new headset. Good morning, Zach Elrod. Good morning. Zach said he wants a headset. He's been saying that he wants one. So today maybe be Zach's day today. I asked all kinds of different random questions though. But first, I want to give you a few things. Y'all know I work for Rosedale Transport. If you don't know, now you know. But we've got what I want to talk to you about this morning. Well, I want to talk to you about a lot of stuff, but on weighing your loads, it's very important, y'all, that when we pull out of a shipper or receiver, that we go to our CAT scale and we weigh our load, okay? No matter what company you work for, you always want to go to weigh that load. You don't want to just depend on the shipper. The reason why is because they'll overload those. And you would think, honestly, that a shipper should know how much to put in the truck, or know how much, to put in the trailer and how to distribute it. But man, I'm telling you, more times than not, it happens. You may go 1,000 times, fine, but then the one time it ain't going to happen. So yesterday, I'm going to give you an example. Yesterday, we started picking up some freight at Bronze, or Rosedale did, and we had a few loads go out of there, and they were light loads. I talked to several different people, and they were light, right? But one driver in particular picked up a load and didn't weigh it. Left Dalton, Georgia, got all the way up to Roanoke, Virginia, and the thing was over gross. So she ended up getting a $700 fine in Virginia for being overweight. Now, at that point, she couldn't turn around and bring it all back because then she would get more tickets through Tennessee and Georgia. Somehow she made it all the way to Virginia. So then now she's got a chance going on up to Massachusetts, and any state after Virginia that pulls her in that scale house is going to give her a ticket. Now, that sucks, but it's on the driver at that point because you didn't weigh it. Always, always, always weigh your loads, drivers. Gene Scott says my service is breaking up. Can you hear me better now? If it's going in and out, I'm sorry. It's just where I'm at, I guess. We'll do my best to get through it. Sorry about that, Gene. But anyways, we'll try better now. Can you hear me better now? But anyway, so the importance of, so the one time that I messed my load up, I picked up a load in Delaware, and as I was coming back from Delaware, y'all, I forgot to weigh it. I remember getting into Maryland, and I was going to weigh it there at the Loves, and as I got toward, I think it was, I forgot the name of the city. I was in Hagerstown, Maryland, maybe. I don't know where it was exactly, but anyway, was that Pennsylvania? I don't remember. It was somewhere, I believe it was Maryland. It was right there at the line, but I pulled in and there was one spot left. It was late at night, and I went in and just pulled into that spot, and I didn't weigh the load. I pulled in, and I said, well, I'll do it in the morning. I got up at 6 o'clock, at 5 o'clock in the morning, whenever it was, and took off, forgot to weigh it again. Got on down to Virginia, and guess what? I pulled in, and I was overweight. By then, I'd already came from all the way from Delaware. There was no going back, but I got a ticket. Now, Virginia wrote me a ticket for $80. I wasn't that much overweight, but I was overweight. I got an $82 ticket. But then when I left, when I got to Tennessee, Tennessee got me. Their ticket was $260. So I had over $300 worth of tickets. Now, luckily, Georgia didn't get me, but I never will do that again because I want to make sure I weigh my load. Now, there's a load app that you can get called Weigh My Truck. Weigh My Truck is you can either weigh, you can go weigh your truck under that. But you can also do the Find My Cat Scale app. You can use it, download it. It'll show you where the nearest cat scale is. And listen, even if it's 5 miles out of route, we have a route down in Bainbridge, Georgia, that I used to pick up, and it's out in the middle of nowhere. Y'all know what I'm talking about, the Shawn and Bainbridge. Well, when you pick it up, there is no cat scales unless you go 6 miles backwards. So if you go 6 miles backwards, it's 12 miles out of route. But the problem is, when you pull out of there, and about 100 miles, there is a weigh station. It's at the 185 and 85 right there. Y'all know what I'm talking about? And if they're open, they're going to pull you in there. And if you're overweight, you're already done win 100 miles, you're going to get a ticket. So I used to have to backtrack 6 miles just to weigh the load. And I backtracked probably 6 or 7 times. It was fine. One time I wasn't going to backtrack, and I did. It was overweight. So the importance of weighing your loads, drivers, are very important. It's to save you money. You know what I'm saying? It's to save you money. And that's why I'm reminding y'all that is weigh those loads. Just pull up. The company pays for it. Here at Rosedale, they pay for it. And if you've got the Weigh My Truckload app, it makes it a lot easier. You just pull into this cat scale. You go to the app. You've already got your comm data card plugged into it. And it goes right through. You just weigh it right there on the spot. Used to, you pull up on the scale. You weigh your truck. You press that little button. First load, first weigh. I know what I'm talking about. And then you pull out. And then you go down. Park. You go inside. You pay for it. Come back out. And you have to rework your load. It's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Where you at, Gene Scott? Where you at, buddy? You said you come to the yard today? I got a Bluetooth headset I'm going to give away at the end of this video. I'm going to ask the question, and whoever, if it's a truck driver or not, whoever answers the question right is going to get a free Bluetooth headset, brand new in a box from Connect Now. Connect Now is going to mail it out. So at the end of this video, we're going to give it out. You're in Coppell. Well, you ain't going to be at the yard today. You going home today, ain't you? You're going home today, ain't you, Gene? Well, let's talk about planning our routes also, drivers, real quick. I'd like to talk about that this morning. I think it's another important issue that drivers are having is our new drivers right out of school. They get out here and they're not planning their routes right. You hear plan route. What do you mean by plan route? Well, planning your route is finding out how you're going to get to that destination in the most safe and manner, and also looking at your hours of service and find out how many hours you've got and if you can make it on a legitimate clocking time. You know, back in the day, and it should happen today, but dispatchers should know. And honestly, I'm just saying, dispatchers should know how many hours you got. But they have a lot on them. They have a lot of drivers on them, and sometimes they fail and they just pick a load. This happens. It happens with all kinds of companies, not just here, but they'll say, hey, I got this load, it's got to be delivered at 7 a.m. You say okay because you think, all right, well, I don't want to turn nothing down. I want to make sure I help my dispatcher out. But if you don't look at those miles, and if you don't look at that time and see if you can make it, you're not helping your dispatcher out. You're failing your company. And we're going to have failed loads because you're not doing your job. Now, you may say, well, isn't the dispatcher's job to figure that out and my job to deliver it? It is, but you also have a certain liability to look at it and see if you can make it. So if a dispatcher gives you a load and you look at it and you go out there and you plan your trip and you put everything in there and you see that you cannot make it under reasonable time, maybe maybe they're sending you through a couple cities, they didn't figure it in. They might have figured in 600 miles. They might have put it on a tight schedule for you, and you saying you can't make it. If you cannot make it, then you need to let your dispatcher know, hey, I can't make it. Now, how do you figure those miles up? How do you figure that? There's a lot of factors, but for one thing, I look at a run and I divide it by 50 miles an hour. You can divide it by 50 miles an hour and you're going to be definitely good. It's 1,000 miles, 1,000-mile run. That's 20 hours worth of driving. You're going to have a 10-hour break in between it. That's 30 hours. It's an easy way to figure it up. Now, on a shorter run, you can do 50, but if you had no problems, no incidents, 60 miles an hour is going to be about the best that you're going to run. So if you got a 600-mile run, you say 10 hours at 60 miles an hour, that's it. But did you think about your 30-minute break in between? That puts it to 10 and a half. That puts it to 10 and a half hours. If there's any slowdowns or any traffic, that puts it at 11. You get a 60-mile or 600-mile run, you can do it in 11 hours. But everything's got to be right. Everything's got to be flow right. You can do 600 miles, but that's with everything right. But if they give you a run that says 680 miles, they want you to do it in one day. Is it possible out west? Yes. Is it possible down here in the east? No. Very, very rarely would that be able to happen. So you have to look at that and give yourself leeway. And it's important that you communicate with your dispatcher and you let them know that, hey, I don't know if I can make this load, and let them know and let them make the decision. I'm not saying turn down a load or tell them you can't do it, but you let them know I can do it, but I may not make this time. This time right here that you've got set for 6 o'clock in the morning, it's probably going to be about 7 or 8. And let them know so they can rework it or maybe put you on something else. But do not say you can make it if you don't think you can make it. And stuff changes, stuff happens, you know what I'm saying? You've got weather. You've got traffic. You've got to look at these things like that. Are you going through Atlanta? Are they giving you a run at 3 o'clock in the evening and you've got to go south and you got to go through Atlanta? Okay? You might have could have made that Florida run on time if you left earlier, but look at the traffic and remind them of that. A driver and a dispatcher has to work together. They work together to communicate. A good dispatcher can make a good driver, and a good driver can make a good dispatcher. A bad dispatcher can make a driver bad, and a bad driver can make a bad dispatcher. So it takes two. It takes a relationship to get together and work. Y'all got to get along. Y'all got to be able to talk and communicate. I'm not saying shoot down your dispatcher. Don't disrespect your dispatcher. Don't say, I can't do that, you crazy fool. You don't talk to them that way because you don't want them to talk to you that way. Now, it goes both ways. Dispatchers, if you're out there listening to me, and you're out here this morning listening, y'all need, oops, there we go, drop my phone. Hey, phone fell off the dash, give me a minute. There we go. A good dispatcher will also communicate well too. So I've had dispatchers back in my day that would talk to me and they'd say, hey Shawn, I've got this run right here. Think you can do it? And I'd be like, give me a minute. And then I would look it up, call right back. I wouldn't answer them right there on the spot. I'd look it up first. Then I've had dispatchers say, you can do it. I'm like, no, really, I'm not going to make it. But if this is what you want me to do, I will. But I'm not going to make it on time. And sometimes they'll say, all right, just do your best. Then sometimes they'll come like, if you can't make it, I'll give you something else. And it's true that, sometimes you can do things, sometimes you can't. But your relationship with your dispatcher, y'all, has got to be good. Now, if you get a dispatcher, also remember that dispatchers go through a lot also. I'm not picking on dispatchers this morning. They go through a lot. So do those drivers. I've been in the dispatch room and I've seen where they get hammered and drivers talk to them ugly and they kind of get a complex on all drivers are that way. So be friendly, be respectful to your dispatcher. Dispatchers, be friendly and good with your drivers, because without the drivers, you couldn't have your job. And drivers, without their dispatchers, you can't have your job. So it works hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ready for me to give away a free Bluetooth headset this morning? Let me know in the comments if y'all are ready. Rise and shine, Georgia Rob. We're about to give away a free Bluetooth headset this morning at the end of this video. Connect Now is going to mail out a Bluetooth headset. We're talking truck and talk this morning, trying to give out some good tips and tricks that we can do to get through here. And I'm going to give away a brand new headset soon, so make sure y'all are watching this video to the end. All right, so when you're planning your route, let's go back to planning your route. Besides communicating with your dispatcher, how many of you use a good trucker GPS? Y'all use a good trucker GPS? A good trucker GPS is good. You don't want to use a car-friendly GPS. You don't want to use a car-friendly GPS. You want to use a truck-friendly. Because if you listen to a car GPS, it can throw you off and get you messed up really bad. So try to, when you get the money, use it. There's apps out there like Trucker Path that you can use. There's Hammer, but make sure you're using a good GPS. I always used the Garmin Diesel. That was one of my favorites. But I'd back it up with Trucker Path and a few other things too. You know what I'm saying? So use most stuff as you can. Plan your route in advance, y'all. Before starting your journey, I always plan my routes, man. I'd use different apps. I look at the GPS. Consider factors like, road restrictions or construction zones and weight limits. Use an atlas, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? Consider weather conditions. Think about the weather that you're about to be going through and ways to go around things like that. Back in the day when I remember one time we had a run that picked up in Atlanta, and it was going to Akron, Ohio. I actually picked up north of Atlanta. And I'm not saying this to brag, but this is one thing that I did that I'll never forget. There's 17 trucks going up that way, and all the GPS took you up 75 through Kentucky and through Ohio. That was the quickest way. The other way was to go up 85 through Carolina and go through West Virginia and come out on the other side of Ohio and going that way. Well, I remember looking at my GPS and looking at my map, but then I also looked at my weather channel that one day, and there was a huge ice storm coming. And I was listening, and it was going to be hitting Kentucky around 10 o'clock or around 9 o'clock, something like that. It was in the evening, and I knew if I went that way, I'm going to run right into that ice storm. So all 16 trucks took off going that way. I went the opposite way, which is probably another 80 miles out of route, maybe 60, 80 miles. But it was also mountains, and it was going to be, I took a chance if that storm sped up, I'd be stuck in the mountains. I went the other way. I remember getting into Ohio, the storm hit, and I barely made it into Akron, but I made it to my destination, and when I got there, I was the only truck there. That morning, I called my dispatcher, and I said, hey, 6:03, big dog, I'm 3 minutes late, but I made it. He said, it's okay, ain't no truck made it anyway, dude, you're good. I said, no, I made it. He's like, it's all right, you didn't make it. I said, no, I made it. He said, what? He looked, he said, son of a gun, how'd you make it? He's like, nobody made it past Kentucky. I said, I went the other way. He said, well, you the only truck made it. Well, the storm hit, and guess what? I was still stuck there anyway. It didn't matter because the storm was up there and the place was shut down. But the fact of the matter is I looked at my routes and I was able to see which one. You know what I'm saying? That's what matters. You know what I'm saying? But so checking your routes and planning that way is the way to do it. Now listen, y'all, if you're just joining me live, I am going to be giving out a brand new Bluetooth headset here in a minute. A brand new Bluetooth headset. I am going to be giving out here at the end of this video. We're definitely going to do it. All right, Gene Scott, I put you on there to take a minute. It might show next time, but your next comment or whatever, Gene, but I made you a moderator. Moderators help me go through, and if you see bad comments or stuff like that, you can get rid of them or whatever. What's going on, Thomas? Thomas, you need a Bluetooth headset? I'm about to connect now. I'm going to give one away at the end of this video. I'm going to ask the question, and whoever answers it will get the answer correct. We'll get a brand new Bluetooth headset. I'm giving a one way every Monday. I gave away the last 2 Mondays. This is the third one I'm going to give away today. Connect Now is going to mail it straight to you. Or if you want it, wherever you want to send it, they'll mail it straight to your house. So let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, let's see here. We're talking about trip planning, and we're talking about checking your weather conditions. These are all important things. Also, you got to factor in your resets. You got to factor in your brakes. And if you're going to be stuck with it, if you're going to run out of your 70 hours, you got to watch that clock, y'all. That clock is very important to watch and pay attention. You got a 1,000-mile run, right? You got 18 hours on your clock. Unless you're Thomas Morgan with a 100-mile-an-hour truck, you're probably going to make it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be very close. 18 hours, you could do it. And let's say you recap nothing, boy, you're going to be real close. I would be very skeptical about taking a 1,000-mile run with 18 hours left on the clock, because you're not giving yourself no leeway, especially if you've got no recap and you're going to do a 34. I would at least tell my dispatchers, look, I might can make it, but I might not. You know what I'm saying? You live and die by that clock. That's right, Thomas Morgan. So pay attention to that. That being said, whenever you pull off into a truck stop, God forbid, man, go off duty when you stop. Now, when I pull into a truck stop and I'm trying to back up and all that stuff, I'll put it in PC, because I'm personal conveyancing into somewhere for me to park for the night or get something to eat. And even though I might be using 4 minutes of PC, you do 4 minutes of PC twice a day, 8 minutes times 6 days a week. It's 48 minutes. It's almost an extra hour of time that you'll have left on your 70. So be thinking of that. He said 18 hours, you got that easily. It depends. You got 18 hours, you got a 1,000-mile trip. Where are you going? Are you going to go through Atlanta on a Friday? You know, depending on where you're at, are you going to have to cut through? Who knows? It's got the weather, storm. You could do it, but you're going to be very close. So you have to be mindful of that. Got to be mindful of it. If you have 10 hours on your clock and you got to do 1,000 miles, forget it. It ain't going to happen, right? Exactly. Hey, say you can do that with your feet on the dash. I'm just saying, if y'all listening, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying you got to give yourself some wiggle room. What if you pick up a trailer that's got bad tires on it and you got to go get it fixed? God knows you got to call the shop instead of Love's for 5 freaking hours. Well, of course, you know, you can pause it or whatever too. So it just depends. It all depends. But just be careful and mindful of that clock, because that clock is very important, y'all. It's very important. I do want to say a great job to everybody that's watching. I know I've got several drivers that are watching right now from Rosedale. Y'all, we did it. We got an average score of 90 last week. That's the best week we've had at Rosedale in several years, and I'm very proud of y'all. I'm very proud that y'all are listening to me and that y'all are paying attention. It gives me a lot of, I feel very humbled, y'all, and I'm very proud of y'all. I really am. I know I've been harping and I've been talking about your speed and all this stuff, but y'all, we're trying to get every driver at 90 miles an hour. We'll get every driver at a score of 90. You know, about 4 months ago when I came in here, the scores were down, and we've been working a little bit every week to get them up, and every week they've climbed up a little bit. They went to 70s, 80s, but yesterday we finally got a 9-0. Out of 100 and something drivers, we've got over 75 drivers in the 90s, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. What's up, New Zealand? What's going on? We got somebody walking from the North Island. What's up, Bo? So appreciate all y'all Rosedale drivers for getting that score, man. I really appreciate that, y'all. I really do. We're going to keep working on it. Remember, anything 1 to 11 miles an hour over the speed limit is knocking your Samsara score down. Every 10 minutes, it knocks down a quarter point. So just stay below the speed limit. I talked to some drivers that are in the high 90s and 100s, and I said, what are you doing? They said, hey, we're just not speeding. But I looked at their miles, and they're getting miles. So it's not just slowing them down. They're just doing what they're supposed to be doing, and I really appreciate that. I really do. So we're talking about this morning, we're going to be giving away a Bluetooth headset here in a minute also, but in a few minutes, but we're talking about trip planning. So another part of trip planning, I said, is maintain communication with your dispatcher, letting them know. That's very important. You got to be mindful out there of the construction zones and things like that, but familiar yourself with alternate routes, figure out different roads, and just stay alert and stay focused, y'all. That's the whole thing. He said 90 miles an hour for heavy load. That's in New Zealand for real. In the U.S., most interstates are 70 miles an hour. Most of them. All right, y'all. Y'all ready for a Bluetooth headset? All right, I need y'all to pull over somewhere. Find you somewhere to pull over real quick so y'all can answer the question that I'm going to ask you. We're going to ask the question this morning and see if y'all can get it right. The first week, the question was, what year did I start driving in? It was 2008. Somebody got it right. Last week, we asked the question of what does the DAC stand for? What does DAC stand for? Driver A check. That's what it was last week. This week, we're going to have another question, so if y'all want to get a chance to pull over and so y'all can type, I'm going to give away a brand new Bluetooth headset from Connect Now. Give y'all a few minutes to pull over because we're going to go ahead and answer the next few minutes. We're going to go ahead and ask the question. But I want to make sure everybody's pulled over safely and can able to type. And we're going to see what it is. Y'all give y'all a few minutes to get pulled over. Y'all let me know when y'all ready. And we're going to ask the question. Everybody ready? All right. All right, so we're going to ask the question. I'm going to let somebody say, all right, Georgia Scott, you ready? Everybody else ready? Let me know when y'all are ready so I can ask this question. We're going to give away a brand new Bluetooth headset away. All right. This should be an easy question, y'all. What is the maximum, the gross, okay, I'm gonna ask this way, okay. What is the weight limit, the max weight limit for a CMV in the state of Indiana? Now we're gonna be asking for a double axle here. What is the maximal legal GVW? What is it set for Indiana? The first person that answers this right gets it. What is the max weight for a truck in Indiana? Gene Scott got it 80,000 pounds. That is correct. Gene Scott, you are the winner of the Bluetooth headset. That was an easy one, y'all. That was so easy. I threw Indiana in there to trick it out. But Gene Scott, you've got it. You won the Bluetooth headset. You are correct. So Connect Now, we'll mail you out a Bluetooth headset. Once we get off the phone here, give me a call, get your address. You got my number, Gene. I already know you got my number, so call me and we will mail it out. But yes, the correct answer is 80,000 pounds. It looked like Rob Jensen, you come in second, but sorry, bud, you don't get nothing on that one. You got to be the first one. Isaac said 80,000. He was correct, but the correct one is going to be Gene Scott. You'll get the free Bluetooth headset for Connect Now. They're pretty cool, man. It's a good good to Bluetooth headset. So, congratulations, congratulations, Gene. I'm glad you got that, buddy. Look, y'all, I'm going to be giving this away again next week. We're going to do 2 more weeks like this on Mondays, where I'll give it away. Look, the questions I answer ain't hard. This is the first one that can type it back gets it. So, Gene Scott, you got it this week, brother. Congratulations, man. All right, so that being said, how y'all doing out there? Everybody doing good? I really appreciate y'all watching today's video. Before I end it, I'd like to go in a little prayer this morning. I'd like to say, dear Heavenly Father, please touch everybody out there that's driving today. Watch after them. Give them strength to get through the day. I know they're going through different things in their life. Give them encouragement. I pray peace over the drivers today. Give them strength. Give them the energy they need. Bless their families. Bless their homes. And if there's one out there that don't know you, Jesus, I pray that in this video that they call upon you and they ask you into their heart. I want you to know this morning that heaven is real and hell is also real. And if you drive around the corner right now and another truck from the other side of the road comes over and hits you and you wake up before Jesus Christ, will he say, come in, my good and faithful servant? Or will he say, depart from me, work of iniquity, I never knew you? A lot of people don't talk about heaven and hell that much, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you, heaven's real, so is hell. And if you die today, where will you be? You say, Shawn, I don't believe in God. You're wrong. Well, you know, if I'm wrong, and I live a good and prosperous life, and I live right according to the Holy Bible, then I guess I've lost nothing. But if you're wrong, what have you lost? Think about that today, and I'll let you know that Jesus loves you. All you got to do is pray to him, ask him in your heart, ask him to forgive your sins, and he'll save you. Find a good church, get you a good Bible, and live right. Because God is real, and I couldn't make it one day without him. If you ask me why I'm in the left lane, it's because I'm in my personal car. I can do that, by the way. I'm not in an 18-wheeler right this second. But God bless y'all. I'll see y'all next video. It's Trucking Life with Shawn, baby. Let's get it.